mute myself. And
Hi there. This is Smarter Marketing Live. We do live broadcasts every week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. EST, where we discuss all things SEO, AI search, Google search. Now it's ChatGPT search. So much to discuss every week. We try to be very timely with any updates and everything that's going on in our industry. Looking for your feedback, for your questions all the time. I'm Anne Smarty. I've been in SEO for more than 20 years. I co-founded my own agency recently, last year. It's been already longer, right? Smarty Marketing. Please check it out. We try to be on top of everything that is going on in SEO, even though it's so much these days, and we are trying to help you with the same. With me today and always, April, our director of social. She's less involved in SEO while she's involved in everything else in our company. So she brings questions and sometimes helps me when it comes to more creative, more interesting topics than just search. And I think that's something we'll be discussing today as well. As quick news from the industry, it's my tradition to give you latest updates from the industry. Google did have another creator conference. This is the conference where it calls all kinds of publishers and tries to be helpful or get their feedback. I'm not sure how well that feedback is implemented, but it's good of Google to host those types of events. This time they did mention one important thing which I wanted to bring to you as well. They do recognize that only big publishers are now ranking. They did say that's how their algorithm had evolved, and they are trying to figure out how to prevent that, how to give more opportunity to more publishers, especially like publishers with high quality content, experience driven content, how they can surface them more efficiently. So there is a hope, at least they know that's happening, and there is a hope for everyone, especially those poor bloggers who were essentially penalized by helpful content update in 2023, and most of them still struggle to recover from that loss. They probably lost like 90% of that traffic from what I could see, and I know quite a few very good blogs that lost that visibility. So I'm hoping there will still be some good news for them and they will be able to recover, because as a search user, I definitely want to see those little blogs that actually know what they're talking about and not just big brands that not necessarily have first-hand experience with what I'm trying to find. So let's see. Today's topic is very is good for that use as well, because we are talking about all our traffic losses. I didn't see any single site as yet that hasn't lost traffic, organic search traffic, and that had been well expected. We had been talking about that many months ago when it was still coming, but now that we are in the middle of that, we try to find solutions. We try to help you find solutions to those losses and to explain what's happening. So first of all, what is happening? Google introduced AI overviews. AI overviews are a particular AI-driven feature that pulls search results that are ranking in Google for a particular search query and summarizes them in a way that it gives a very detailed and very satisfying answer to some queries. And in most cases, when people are searching for something, especially informational, the need to click any link is almost not even there, because the answer is so satisfying. I did have an example on my newsletter. By the way, please subscribe andsmarty.com. Right now, check out the most recent episode where I provide some of the examples and screenshots of everything that I'm talking, so you'll have more context about every topic. Andsmarty.com. I do a weekly newsletter that announces topics for these broadcasts, helping you understand what is going on even more. So there I do give an example of some query that I just used, and it gave such a good answer that I frankly didn't click anything. Google would not disclose to us how much those AI overviews are clicked. There are references, there are links in AI overviews, and Google is trying to make them more clickable by making them more obvious too, and also pulling more citations and more links into AI overviews. But the answers are so good that in most cases there is no need to click. That is the problem. And Google would not tell us how many clicks AI overviews actually generate, and there is no way to tell. But from our experience with just about any site we have been dealing with, as well as a couple of independent third-party studies that explore click-through and losses from AI overviews, it is between 15 to 40% a loss in organic search clicks, which is understandable. And I talk about that a lot, that in most cases, and that has been around since featured snippets when we were debating on how much they are clicked, because they've been doing a very good job answering queries as well. So in most cases, if someone is searching for something and is pretty much satisfied with the answer, that would not be your client anyways, because if they are satisfied with a quick answer, that means they were simply curious to find the answer. They were not looking to buy anything. They were probably not even, they may be on the go, so they're in a hurry and they just read the answer and leave. That would not have been a good click anyways. So that is something to keep in mind. In many cases with those huge losses in organic search, I have yet to see a client that actually lost revenue because of that. Again, it is too early to say and make those statements, but in many cases, it might be not as bad news. But I also understand that for most executives, when you talk to them about, hey, we lost traffic, but everyone else did, and our conversions may not be impacted, for most executives and business owners, it is still not a good argument, because let's face it, in many cases, the traffic of a website reflects the value of the brand. Sometimes people are trying to sell businesses or websites, and its organic traffic is always one of the arguments to the value of that business or that site. So clicks are still important, and no matter how much we talk about how that it is like this for everyone, it will still take a lot of time for that argument to be trustworthy and enough for business owners and executives to accept that fact in any way. So today's topic will be how you can still get clicks from search results, even if you are cited in AI overviews, even if you are summarized, if your content is summarized there, how you can still get those clicks, at least more clicks than your competitors. And again, at smarty.com, there I explain everything in more detail with screenshots, but I will just list a few methods right now, and then I'll be ready for questions. So first of all, do queries. What are do queries? So traditionally in SEO, we were looking at three main types of search intent. That was informational, commercial, and navigational. Informational queries are those when people just want to learn something. Commercial queries are those they want to buy something, and transactional or commercial and navigational are those when people trying to go to some website but they don't know how to find it, or the whole domain they don't remember, so they just type that brand name in search results and trying to get to that site. Now, the Google's quality raters guidelines are giving a little bit different types of search intent, which in my mind are even smarter. I mean, Google is not stupid for sure, but in this AI overview reality that we are dealing with, they make much more sense. So they introduce no queries when people want just to know something. Those are usually definitions. And navigational queries, they also have that, but they also have do queries. And do queries are those that people want to do something after the search. So they want to follow some steps, they want to buy something. It doesn't matter if it's informational or commercial intent in our world, but it is something that reflects the future action. And that is important because then if you have that queries that solve do content that solves do queries, people will still be clicking to your site to follow the instructions, to watch the video on how to do that, to buy something from you, to see how it's done and follow those steps. Those types of answers are very tough to summarize the way when it removes the need to click. That's why it is so important. And they are also important not just for clicks, they can improve your conversions a big time, because let's say if you are answering a do query about something in structural, and you provide steps and images, pictures, videos, whatever, however you can do to make it more helpful, you can also put your products in that problem solving type of content so that people can see why they need them, and they may convert right away. So those are very good queries to think about right now and to optimize for, and to try and find that where if you're ranking for anything right now, can you optimize better to rank for those queries better? So that type of analysis of keyword research, I would definitely prioritize, make more important at this point, and try to create as much content and pages that solve those do queries. So this is the first type of still traffic generating content that is also important for conversions as well. The second type is something that we specialize in. It's creating unique studies, unique research, making them as complicated and interesting as possible so that it's not just one number that can be easily put in the AI overview, but make a lot of takeaways, make a lot of overlay data, create something unique survey, for example. And we also visualize those studies as infographics, so they can also drive clicks from image packs, because they're usually in many ways they are blended in search results. So those types of pages would not just improve the traffic of your website, but it will also drive a lot of other signals that will help your overall site rank better. And those signals include brand mentions, those signals include backlinks, because we do promote those infographics to journalists, we do promote them on Reddit, and all of that is sending a lot of good signals to your site. So that type of content is not just traffic generating, it's overall good for your SEO visibility today and in the future. The most important thing here to mention, and that's something we have to tell everyone, is that just one unique study is not going to be enough. You have to be doing them on a regular basis, because those continuously incoming fresh signals are very important for your ongoing visibility, because when you start losing your rankings, it's probably already too late to do anything. You have to be doing something cool, unique, share-worthy, link-worthy, brand mention-worthy on a regular basis. Now, the third part is something that can live on your site. The third idea of click-generating content can live on your site so that it cannot be ever summarized. Those are usually helpful tools. You can check out smarty.marketing. We have a few generators. They don't have to be the schema generators that are helpful for our clients. I actually give links to those generators in some of my reports when I suggest more detailed schema or adding new types of schema. So it is helpful to our clients, and it's helpful to our visitors, and they drive clicks to our website. Something similar is possible in just about any industry, depending on what you feel is important for e-commerce site. That could be something that helps with your measurements or translate into different number, something like that. Those types, even if they are linked from AI overviews, those types of pages will be clicked because there is no way this page can be summarized and solve the issue, the problem. Those all, I guess, in many industries, it could be also free downloads that, of course, can be stolen and linked directly. But if you make it smarter, maybe opt-in downloads or something like that, so that you can hide them, could also drive traffic for like cheat sheets, checklists, flowcharts. We create those for our clients as well. White papers, I would say everything that should be downloaded and taken home should be also a good idea in many cases. If it's genuinely useful and helpful, it will generate clicks as well. So those were my suggestions. Probably there are more. If you have any ideas, if you have any pages that still generate traffic because they cannot be summarized by overviews, I would love to see them and get maybe brainstorm more ideas of what we can do. It is a learning path for everyone, for sure. Not everyone has all the answers to the changing environment of our industry, but it is a good start to start working on, and maybe you'll come up with more ideas as well. And with that, I'm ready for questions. I know April has some. I ask them on any social media profile that you are watching this from. We are streaming to my personal LinkedIn and Smarty. Please find me and follow me there if you want to join this on a regular basis. We also stream to Facebook, Twitter, X, and YouTube. So find us everywhere and see, visit us, join us as many times a month as you can or want. Well, you're always welcome here. Again, andsmarty.com is also where I announce all the links for the upcoming events, so that you can join on any platform you prefer. And we have the first question from Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Would you put white papers in PDF formats? Yes. PDFs, again, can be stolen and linked directly from people. It has happened to us many times, but it is still useful if you rank for something that is being explored in the white paper, so you will get still those links as well. So PDF is probably the best format here. How do you come up with ideas for original research and surveys? This is April's specialty. Finally, I can shut up. April, please tell us how your team is coming up with these cool ideas that work so wonderfully.
I think approach I like to take is trying to appeal to like human emotion and curiosity. Like when you come up with an idea, like ask yourself, is this something that I would be curious about, or is this something that would evoke some kind of emotion in my audience? An example of like a really amazing idea, not that we came up with, but in like along the same vein of like what we try to create, I saw recently was like U.S. counties that have like a lower life expectancy than North Korea, and like it's really interesting because learning about like the counties with the low life expectancy it does evoke emotion and evokes like sadness and concern and interest and all that. But then you juxtapose it with North Korea, which is like a scary place. Just a very different world, and there's a lot of like emotions tied to that. So then it just putting those things together, it's like a really like piques your interest. Like, wow, that's like a really cool angle. Like it just goes beyond just saying like just giving like the information, like here's this list of counties with low or high life expectancy. It goes beyond that. So you just got to come up with unique angles like that. Just because like that's what's going to really stand out, especially in an AI world, when or like just human emotion and creative things like that are really going to help your content like rise above all the noise and everything. And as for surveys go, again, just ask yourself like what are you interested in about the topic. I was just trying to brainstorm right before this about surveys. Let's see. I'm trying to come up with it off the fly here. I guess one thing I'd be interested. I guess I'd be curious about like which U.S. states would people bring like their shopping carts back to like the corral? Like which states do that the most often? Like that would be I'd be really curious about that. But then you also get the people will probably like lie or exaggerate like how often they bring it back. But that's like another interesting thing because that people if we posted that on Reddit, which we would, if you posted that on Reddit, the information like people would argue about that, be like, this just means that these states are just lying or they're like exaggerating or blowing themselves up or whatever. Just like that sparks discussion. So and then like the states that rank really well will probably be really proud, and the states that rank really poorly will probably argue. And that I could see that ending up on the news and everything, like just stuff like that, that will like spark a discussion. And like you want to tap into people's pride about where they live or people's like shame about where they live. You just want to tap into emotion like that. So I always bring my I always bring my shopping cart back too. I respect that. Yeah, just stuff like that.
I would do that too in all cases, by all means. I'm actually,
Yeah.
I like the first example that you were talking about. It was interesting that, and that's something we were talking about with clients as well, is that you would think everything under the sun is already
Mhm.
talked about, but
Mhm.
there are always opportunities for unique angles, even for very popular data. Like if you just
Mhm.
explore life expectancy throughout the United States, I'm not good at pronouncing words today, then it's something that everyone probably has already done. But
Mhm.
now you add another layer with comparison to something that is really scaring this country, and that's already a different angle that can spark much more attention,
Mhm.
and it's really unique. So you can still come up with something really unique in your niche for sure, and be the source for that information, and then people will be interested in clicking it because it's so unique and original,
Mhm.
and they have never done that before. They will be curious to actually see the results. Like with April 2nd idea, it is very interesting angle because everyone would want to know. Everyone, we
The
I'm
hot
sure that,
topic.
yes, I'm sure that even if AI overviews summarize like this research in one sentence, this it is so interesting that it's definitely will generate a click.
People will want to share it too, especially if their state ranks really well. They'll want to share, or if their state ranks really poorly, they'll want to share it and get defensive about it. It's just like it goes beyond just something that you can read really quick. And like continuing with the life expectancy idea, like you can like we if you gather a bunch of different data, you can create like a whole new angle instead of like, for example, let's say states that the best states if you want to live a long life or something, and like life expectancy, you can put that data in there. You can put like other data in there, like just like health. Like there's so much information out there if you just know how to look. Like counties that have the people who report being in good health or poor health, like you can put all that data in there and then create like an overarching like view of like a new perspective. So it's all about creating like new interesting perspectives that people will be curious about, there's been nothing else like it out there because it's all original data that we compiled ourselves. And create like when we create indexes, we like assign different point values to all the different data. So it's like there's a lot that goes into it, and that's why it goes beyond like anything else that's out there. Just so many details to we're really thorough, and like we put a lot of effort and time and like consideration into, because it's also like I feel like we hold ourselves to like a high standard of the stuff that we put out because we want it to be accurate and valuable and just make people like just entertain people but also help them in a way, but we just is important to us that it's actually like accurate and all that. So yeah. Yeah, unique angles have so much more sharing power, absolutely, because there's
That
so much
is,
information out there.
yep, you have to be doing that for a long time to find those unique angles for sure. Because in most cases, if you just search what has been out there, uh, for now you would not be able to find anything unique, because to be unique, it's unique, it's not there yet. So but yes, overlaying data sources is a great way to find new perspectives when you try to find trends and background trends and what may have resulted in something. So it's also a good idea to start with, and looking what data is available is a good idea too. It's not always about the unique surveys. It could be based on something existing, on some existing indexes, and you can overlay again that with your own data or with other data sets. So there are many ways to do that in a way that it's original and share-worthy. Yeah,
It's like AI. Oh, sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
I feel like AI can definitely help you find the data, but it will never be able to come up with the angles that humans will be interested in, and that's why that's why creativity is never going to go out of fashion. It's just going to become more valuable. Creativity, curiosity, all those things that humans that they gravitate towards. So,
Yep. Well, for sure, sometimes just for like brainstorming, we try to use ChatGPT and see what ideas comes up. And I don't think we ever any of those ideas. They're
yeah.
usually too generic and lack that originality,
Mhm.
because let's face it, I mean, it's probably understandable because ChatGPT is using what we know,
Yeah.
what is out there now. So coming up with something new is definitely a challenge for it. So I don't blame it, but just that a good point, that even though people are using AI just for about anything in marketing these days, including keyword research, optimization purposes, all of that. And there are some good use cases for ChatGPT or Gemini or an alternative AI platform for those tasks, but not for these highly creative things that we do. I mean, for sure. So we've never been successful with using ChatGPT for brainstorming. And I think we have time for one more question if you see any.
I have.
Yeah, you had some too.
Let's see, so how do you? What are your suggestions for coming up with content ideas that fulfill? I guess we already discussed this. That fulfill do
No,
queries.
no, it's a good question. But I actually didn't mention that. Practically, you are always dealing with thousands of queries for sure. They may be long term tail, they may be short tail queries, but there are always many for most businesses. So how do you really come up with those queries that can and should result in action, that people are trying to perform an action when searching for that? Well, first of all, how-to queries, start with those. You can filter your how-to queries in just about any keyword research tool, including Search Console. You can create a filter there with how-to, and you will see where you're currently ranking for some of those, and maybe you can go from there. It's not the perfect thing to do for sure. It's the easiest route you can start with, because obviously not many people type how to, they just type do something, and that would also be a do query, and it's not very easy to find. I would suggest also both Ahrefs and SEMrush and SEA ranking, I think, also has that feature. Keyword clustering features, they would cluster your keywords by relevancy, and it's easier then to find those do queries there. It may not be the whole cluster of keywords can reflect that. They would include what and other types of no intent, but you will be able, it's just easier to make sense of your multiple keyword search queries if you cluster them. You can also try different methods of clustering. Some of the methods include relevancy, how relevant those keywords are. Some of them include common modifier, that's when they have the same word in every group, so there can be different methods to do that as well. So I would suggest starting there, and then of course manually looking at your rankings, at least your current traffic generating keywords and queries, and see if there is potentially some improvement there. Maybe you can jump from second to first position. Maybe you can jump from second page to the first page. There is always something there to improve, so I would definitely look at your Search Console and find those queries. It's not as many as just SEMrush lists, but you will see if a query is generating clicks already, there is a good chance that if you rank higher, it will be even better, and you will also have better chances to be included in AI overview as well, and so you will rank twice in AI overview and organic search results. So I would definitely start with Search Console. When you are done there, go ahead and try SEMrush and Ahrefs, and those will be that will keep you busy for, I would say, at least a year if you start now. So usually that's a lot to handle. With that, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for watching us. Please join us Wednesday 1 p.m. EST for more interesting and action-driven topics. We are very willing not just to keep you updated on everything new that's going on with our industry, but also provide some solutions on how to handle those, how to track those, how to solve some problems. So please, if you have any questions, ask us. Maybe you have suggestions for future topics. Maybe there is a problem you don't know how to solve now, and we can discuss that on our video. We do have a free phone, free meeting, free 15-minute call on our website, smarty.marketing. You can use it even if you are not looking for clients. You just want to discuss some topics and have maybe some answers. I love doing those again because those keep me inspired for the future episodes here. Subscribe and smarty.com, and have a great day and great week as well. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.